So my name's Jamie Castellanos, and for the presentation, I decided to make a YouTube video, basically just discussing what I found in my annotated bibliography and my thoughts on my final essay. So my final essay's topic was morals and how could we choose the right in an uncertain world where basically everyone thinks that they're right, and there's just this fight between choosing the right and between deciding for ourselves what's right, which can be a lifelong battle in and of itself. I chose to base this paper off of Antigone. Little background: Antigone is a play. It's a tragedy written by Sophocles about 440 BC, and there's a lot of moral battles that go on and that take place in Antigone. Um, first of all, you have Antigone wanting to do right by her brother, Ismene wanting to side on the side of Antigone, but at the same time fearing for her own life, she doesn't. Um, Creon, I think that he has his own thoughts about how he wants to run the nation now that he's king, but still thinks that he's doing the right thing by laying down the law in his specific way. So really, I believe that's at the heart of Antigone, and I think that's what Sophocles wanted us to see. Um, is that we have to, uh, you know, decide for ourselves what we think is right, what we believe is right, and act on it, even if we are going to face persecution, opposition, ridicule, even if we're going to beat ourselves up for it, because we might think that it's not the right idea and that might not be the best idea. Um, I can definitely tell you that anytime anyone's going to do what they believe is right, they're going to be right, at least for themselves. 99 may say it's right, one may say it's wrong. Could be the other way around. You might be on the 99 side, you might be on the one side. Uh, it's really all up to you. The decision that I would like for you to consider and that I've considered myself after, especially after reading Antigone, but it's something that I've made a goal to do actively in my life, is to really concern myself and be aware of the decisions I make and how they affect others. Creon's decisions affected the entire nation, but really did pierce um, Ismene and Antigone's to the heart and to the soul. One was willing to act Antigone, and one chose to be more of a coward in Ismene. Um, so to discuss a little bit about my annotated bibliography and what I found on the topic, there was two articles. One is the science of morals, and one is the ideals of morals. In the ideals of morals, my favorite question that was posed by one of the scientists is something that's known as the trolley experiment. So there's a man standing on a trolley or on a track, and he's about to get hit by a trolley. And you have a decision where you can throw the switch to hit, throw the switch to have the trolley go onto another track, but it'll hit 5 people instead. There's 5 people standing on that track, so you have to decide: do I kill 5 people or do I kill one person? There's really no right answer. It's a situation that nobody ever wants to be faced with, of course. And basically what I drew from this is that there's going to be situations in our lives that, yes, we can't really control. There's maybe not necessarily a right answer. You could say, well, I'm killing one person as opposed to five, but really, who's to say who can live and who can die? A life is still going to be taken. Um, but I think what's important is to remember that our actions are going to be based off what happened in the past. Um, and unfortunately, some people are faced with those kind of decisions. Hopefully, not at that magnitude, and definitely never would wish that on anyone. The second one came from the science of morals, and that's just what the article is entitled. But a question was posed by a scientist that said, um, how many of you would use a gun to defend your family? And 80% of the people polled answered that they would use a gun to defend their family. And the funny thing is, and this is among Americans, but the funny thing is that only 25% of Americans actually own a gun. So while the consensus is, yes, if I had a gun, I'd use it, how many people out there actually know how to use it? First of all, how many own it, know how to use it, know how to load it, know how to shoot it, and then the decision of taking someone's life. Again, another extreme situation that hopefully no one is ever faced with. Unfortunately, it happens every single day throughout the world. Um, but it's a decision that someone can make today, here and now, and say, I will decide to defend my family with a gun. And if that's the case, and if that's truly how they feel, and if they feel that that's a means that they can do it by, then I would encourage them to buy a gun and become educated on how to use it, and be prepared to, or prepare themselves to face, the situation, and face, the possible ramifications of killing someone, or putting someone in the hospital, or paralyzing someone with a gunshot. Um, maybe you're the type of person that can handle it and say, well, they deserve it, or well, who knows what they would have done to my family, and myself and my family. Um, that's for you to decide. In conclusion, I really just want to say that Antigone has definitely inspired me to choose the right. Um, as I said earlier, it's a goal of mine to always uphold what I believe. I've been ridiculed for it in the past, and I'm not a stranger to standing up for what I believe. And I want to continue to do it. And I encourage each of us to do it, to do what is right, and to not let anger, jealousy, or aggression get in the way. Those are definitely some walls that we put up, either ones that we create on our own or ones that are created by our circumstances. But it's kind of cheesy, but I think that we should be the change we want to see. If we want to see people doing the right, then we have to be willing to do it ourselves. If we want to see people um, standing up for what they believe, then we should be the ones to set that example. And that's what I leave it with.